Am I the idiot for cheating on my wife? I would like to start off by saying I don't think I'm the asshole because I thought our future would be limited, and to open up the next chapter of my life early. I 27M have a wife, now ex-wife 24F, she was diagnosed with pleural cancer 2 years ago. After lots of chemo and no luck, she decided to spend the rest of her remaining days at home. We had nurses at home throughout the day, but I cared for her at night unless of course there was an emergency. Thank God there never was. 7 months ago her oldest sister 26F came down to spend time with her. I could feel sparks reconnect between us straight away. We used to date in college for around 3 years, but we broke up when her sister joined as I was leaving college because I fell head over heels for her. My wife also doesn't know we dated. At first I tried to control myself around her, but with my wife always being in bed, and she couldn't satisfy my needs like a wife should, so like any other man I had to find it someplace else. Her sister. It started with stealing glances, but was fast to turn into making out in the kitchen, and then onto her giving me what I wanted from her. This went on for the 3 months she was at our house until my wife came downstairs wanting my help, with rarely happened, as she was too ill to find me and her sister on the couch. She was hysterically crying and screaming to get out of the house and that she wanted a divorce. I tried to explain that it wasn't cheating, I was just doing what I had to do and that I need to do what I had to do. She didn't like that. It's now been 4 months from that day, and turns out my ex-wife's chemo was successful, which is very rare for pleural cancer, and is now dating my older brother 32M. I am feeling so betrayed by the both of them and have no clue what kind of human being would do this to someone. I saw them together yesterday and feel so depressed about it. My own brother did this to me and my ex-wife as well. The world is cruel. So tell me, am I the asshole for what I did? My parents have cut all contact with me for it, but I still think I did no wrong, and it's just in a man's nature. Now for the next story. Am I the idiot for refusing to support my wife through her diagnosis after her infidelity? My wife and I had a pretty normal marriage. No kids, both employed and really happy together. For 99% of our relationship we didn't have any major problems, we made time for each other, so on and so forth. She recently went away with her friend for a girls' trip. The first 2 days after she came back everything was fine, and on the third we went to dinner with this friend and her boyfriend. Dinner went well, came home and went to bed. Wife woke me up in the middle of the night crying, saying there was something she had to tell me. Long story short, she had cheated on me the entire trip and her friend had cheated on her boyfriend as well. Apparently the dinner together caused her to have an attack of conscience, because she messaged my wife after I had fallen asleep telling her that she was going to come clean to her partner, and my wife had to tell me as well or she would. We talked, yelled, cried. I spent most of the night sick. Told me it was just a horribly stupid decision and was perfectly happy with me, which honestly makes it worse. Why risk a happy marriage for an affair? It wasn't my fault, the usual. I've been staying at my sister's place while we figure out the divorce. Before this went down she had been scheduled for tests and scans for what we thought were relatively non-serious health problems. Turns out we were wrong, as I was just contacted last week by her cousin telling me a scan revealed cancer. I got in touch with my wife and we talked, she proved her diagnosis and filled me in on some details. She was understandably terrified and begged me to come back, to talk to her, hug her, give her a chance, to be there with her. I told her I wished her all the best. I'm very sorry for what she's going through and know she's strong enough to make it through, but while I'd help financially from a distance, I wasn't physically going back. They, not her, have been harassing me, telling me to man up and go to her. My own friends are split 50-50ths. I don't want to go back. Before anyone pulls the "this is probably why she cheated" card, no. We had a good marriage, we had a sit-down talk every month to discuss anything wrong. We were solid. She just chose to take a chance on a quick thrill, despite knowing cheating is a 100% deal breaker for me. She never even planned to tell me until her friend forced her. While I certainly don't think anyone deserves this and I am sorry it happened to her, in my opinion her diagnosis doesn't change our situation. I feel it'll be harder on both of us with me being there knowing I won't forgive her when it's over. It feels like prolonging the inevitable, and I feel like my obligation to her ended when she chose to betray our marriage. She has family and friends, so she isn't alone. I care about the woman I thought I married, but I no longer love who she turned out to be, so I feel it'd be unfair to both of us for me to be there. I'm not trying to punish her, my heart just isn't in it anymore. Aita. Edit, to the Reddit detectives further down. When I said, we talk every month about our problems, it doesn't mean we only talk once a month in strict time slots. We talked as often as needed, but made a point at least once a month to sit with each other and check in, see how we're feeling and so on. Secondly, I mentioned she proved her diagnosis because when I was told I didn't believe it, I figured it was a ploy to get me to come over and talk, because she and her family had been trying to get me to reconsider from the moment I left. I also didn't want numerous answers to be filled with that exact same speculation. As for how she cheated the entire trip, the two of them went with the purpose of meeting up with two specific people her friend knew. And I figured this would be easy to figure out, but I guess not. I knew her friend forced her to tell me because I demanded to see their messages after she told me she cheated. Finally, I know a lot of people post made-up stories. I'm not one of those people, but short of providing personal details, I can't prove it. If I wanted karma, I wouldn't be on a throwaway. I posted here because when some of your own friends are telling you that you're unreasonable, I think it's time for neutral third-party judgment, and I was hoping for valuable insight, which many people provided. To the mods, I'm sorry this post wasn't a great fit here. I'll post in the appropriate subs in the future. Now for the next story. Am I the idiot for cheating on my wife because her body changed? I, 34M, have been with my waifu, Kagaya-sama, 17F, for 2 years. My mother, 67F, has been telling me to get out of her basement and to stop nutting in pillows. She doesn't understand me as an anime sexual. Me and Kagaya-sama have had a healthy sexual relationship, but lately, for some reason she has gotten crusty and stiff. I started doing stuff with my new side girl, 14F, named Asuka. She is soft and not like Kagaya, who let her body get out shape. I never told Kagaya, and thought she wouldn't notice. One day, when I was cleaning the fungus from in between my fat rolls, Kagaya-sama comes up to me and says, "Senpai, I just found out you are cheating on me with that Asuka baka." I said, "Yar days, arigato saimasu Kagaya-san. I can't help myself, this is my otaku lifestyle." She then calls me slurs, fricker, baka, stupid otaku. I said something about how her body changed and she suddenly started crying and begging me to be with her, but I said it was over. But then she got really angry and she insulted my new waifu. I saw red. I immediately lunged at her and she snapped in half like a twig. At the time I felt totally awesome, but now I don't know if what I did was right or not. Asuka-san says that I did the right thing.